What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. Today, I have another NU match. This one is actually a highly requested matchup here. This is against Weedle Twin Needle. He's a YouTuber. You should definitely check out his channel. Link will be in the description, but I've been getting a lot of comments lately from you guys telling me that I should battle him, so we finally found time in our schedules to get something going, so it actually turned out to be a pretty interesting match here. So I'm using one of my older NU teams. I did switch out a couple of Pokemon like the Jinx and the Manectric though, just because I want to throw those dudes on there, see how it would work. Prostitute has been in the damn PC box for like ever, so I figured I'd give her some use. And yeah, so my opponent's rocking a pretty fun team over there. The main thing I am worried about is the Gallade. That dude can definitely do some damage to me, but let's go ahead and just hop right into it. He is going to actually end up leading off with his Emboar. Fake-ass Darmanitan comes out. And I'm actually going to end up leading off with my Jinx. I was kind of expecting him to lead off with the Cradily. That way I could get a nice little lovely kiss on that thing. But this is a pretty terrible matchup for me. I'm expecting this thing to probably be Choice Scarf. That's just kind of generally what you see Emboars running. So I don't want to waste my Jinx early. And I'm just going to switch right into Swagsire, who is pretty damn fit to take any attack this Emboar wants to throw at me. So he is just going to go right for the Flare Blitz. Swagsire barely gets scratched from that shit. He's like, did you touch me? I don't know. After leftovers though, I'm feeling pretty solid here. And I'm actually just going to go right for the Toxic. I do realize that he has two Pokemon with Synchronize on his team. Although I kind of expected him to go right into the Cradily, trying to catch a Scald with the Storm Drain. Although unfortunately for me, I do actually end up Toxicking this freaking Musharna, and that really sucks because that's going to give me a bad poison as well. And as I was looking at the team preview, Quagsire was very useful, and getting that Toxic on it is going to make it a lot easier for him to take care of, and that is pretty unfortunate. The good news is, though, I did get a Toxic on the Musharna, which is kind of nice, I guess. I don't really know what this thing's going to want to go for. Potentially set up like some Calm Minds, and I think they do a whole bunch of like weird healing shit. So potential like setting up wishes and things like that. I'm actually just going to go ahead and switch out. Don't really have anything that Quagsire can do to this thing, so I'm just going to switch directly into Cradily here. I want to get my Stealth Rock up as soon as possible, and this seems like a good time to do it, as he actually ends up setting up a Psychic Terrain, which I thought was really interesting. That's kind of the theme that his team is based around. As I was looking at the team preview, I did realize he has 3 Psychic types, so they're going to benefit from some increased damage from that, and I also can't go for any priority moves as long as the Psychic Terrain is up, so that's actually going to play a pretty damn big role in this match, as you'll see later. So I do get my Stealth Rock up, which is really nice, and at this point he switches into the Gallade, so I can't let Cradily take any attacks on that thing, and I'm going to have to switch right into my Swagsire, who is my only defense wall. So he actually ends up playing with some swords, and that is not the sight I wanted to see. That is scary as hell. So he gets a nice little +2 there, and unfortunately, I'm actually a Water Absorb Quagsire. If I was unaware, the stat boost wouldn't matter to me, but unfortunately, I'm a freaking sponge, so that kind of sucks. He's actually going to bust out the Psychic EMZ here, which is actually, again, not the sight I wanted to see. That's going to be super powerful, boosted with the Psychic Terrain. After the Swords Dance, it's looking like Quagsire's not going to be able to take that. So he goes for the Shattered Psych, which looks pretty damn intense, if I might add. Look at that shit. Even though Swagsire still got just like the straightest face. He's like, this is fine. This is totally fine. So that is going to knock me out. And down goes Quagsire really early. And that is not what I needed there. So here's where I make a dumb play. I decide to switch into my Hitmonlee. I was going to go for the Fake Out, activate the normal gem, which would then give me my Unburden boost and be able to outspeed it. But then I realized the fucking Psychic Terrain's up. So I make a terrible play there. And I'm going to pay for it for having to switch into my Manectric on the incoming Zen Headbutt, which is going to kill me. So that is really unfortunate. Definitely a misplay there. I just was not thinking about it. I don't come across these freaking fields and stuff a whole lot. So I do actually now bring in Jinx on the free switch, and I miss my lovely kiss, which is just lovely. Thank you, Prostitute. And, so since I missed, that allows him to go for a knockoff, and that takes out my Jinx. So not the best sequence of events here, seeing as I just lost 2 Pokemon for like no reason. So that is that's really unfortunate. Although luckily I do still have freaking Saucebuck, who's a sauce beast, and I'm able to finish that thing off with a nice little double edge there, which I really should have just gone into this in the first place. I kind of just wanted Jinx to kiss some stuff, but it didn't work out. Forgot the lipstick today. So down goes the Gallade, and that's a big threat out of the way, which is super awesome. So now he decides to bring in the Kadabra. I don't really want to stay in against this thing, so I'm just going to switch right into my Special Wall Cradily, as he is going to go for the Psychic. Even with the boost, though, Cradily's a special defense beast, and after the leftovers, I'm sitting at a pretty solid spot against this thing. Although I don't really have a whole lot to hit it with, Giga Drain is my only attacking move. I figure, though, he probably is Focus Sash. You do see Focus Sash Kadabra more often than Eviolite, obviously, because they're not defensive at all. So I do go for the Giga Drain, and he tried to taunt me, which is nice, but Cradily's like, I'm already attacking your ass. So I go for the Giga Drain. It does do over half, so a nice little 2-hit KO there is perfect. And this Kadabra doesn't have a whole lot to do to me. I mean, he could potentially Focus Blast, but even then, I could take it and then end up finishing it off with a Giga Drain while getting some HP back. So he's going to go ahead and switch right back into the Can't Defeat Us, which is a hilarious name, as he gets hit by a little bit of Stealth Rock, and then I just fire off a Giga Drain. So I'm expecting this thing to probably just want to set up some Psychic Terrain, and I do still have it in the back of my mind that if I can manage to get Hitmonlee to go for a normal gem boosted Fake Out, it'll activate the Unburden, and then I can outspeed everything on his team and potentially get a sweep going. But obviously, as long as that Psychic Terrain is up, I won't be able to get that Fake Out because it blocks priority moves. So I'm just going to actually switch into Saucebuck here, as I'm expecting the Psychic Terrain, as he does go for it, and that actually kind of sucks. But at this point, it was really nice to be able to get Saucebuck in for free, because I can just go for the Horn Leech if he decides to stay in. That will take care of the Fetus. If he switches into the Greydilly, I can go for the Jump Kick, and I've got quite a few options here. So he actually does end up switching into the Greydilly, as I just go for the Horn Leech, I believe. It does land on it, not going to do a whole lot of damage, but I think he then realizes that I do have Jump Kick. You don't see Saucebuck a lot, honestly. These people sleep on Saucebuck. This thing fucking hits hard. Did you see that double-edged one-hit KO on the Gallade? No fucks given. But yeah, so at this point, I'm just going to go straight for the Jump Kick. I do believe he actually switches here, probably realizing that he's just going to take a nice little kick to the face, and he is going to switch into his Bibarel, pretty much just for death fodder. But check this out, he actually does have the item's called the Psychic Seed or something like that. Whenever you come in on the Psychic Terrain, it is going to boost his special defense. So the idea behind that thing is to come in, get a special defense boost. He actually lived that with 1 HP right there. But I'm guessing this Bibarel had Curse, so that way he could raise his physical defense and attack. So that thing has the potential to be a freaking beast. But unfortunately, I do got to knock you out. Sorry about that, buddy. I mean, at least this time you weren't like an HM slave, so, you know, at least that was better than what you're used to, Bibarel. So down goes that thing, and at this point, that's a nice play, because that allows him to switch into whatever he wants, which is going to be the Choice Scarf Emboar. And I do not have anything on my team that I can bring in to take a superpower, so I just kind of have to let him knock out Saucebuck here. The superpower is a good play as well to lock himself into, because that means he can just go for that against Greydilly. And at this point, I really just gotta make sure this Psychic Terrain is gone by the time Hitmonlee can make some shit happen. So I bring in Greydilly, and I'm feeling pretty confident that I can take at least one superpower, just enough to be able to stall out this Psychic Terrain. But he actually ends up switching. He's gonna save the Emboar for later, as he just goes right into his own Greydilly, and we got like way too many Dillies for one battlefield. So I just go for the Toxic. It doesn't really matter at that point what I was gonna go for. My only attacking move is Giga Drain. This isn't the one that I have that carries Rock Slide, so that's kind of a bummer, but I'm expecting him to probably just want to go for a Toxic against me as well. There's really nothing that a Greydilly can do to another Greydilly, so I'm actually going to switch out, and I decide to bring in Kung Foot. So I do know at this point that this is a safe switch, because Greydilly can't one-shot me, and I don't really care about being toxic this late in the match. So I obviously can't go for the Fake Out to get my Unburden boost, which will double my speed, but I can just go straight for the close combat, and that's really all I need to do against this thing. The Psychic Terrain is winding down on the amount of turns that it has left, so as long as that shit is gone by the time I need to fake out some stuff, we should be alright. So I'm just going to go right for the close combat. He does have 4 Pokemon left. He's just going to stay in. He doesn't have anything that can switch into that, so down goes the Greydilly. And it's good to see that thing gone. But it's all pretty much up to Kung Foot here. I got this like green chicken leg that really is kind of my last hope, and it's really my win condition if I will be able to get that Unburden boost. So the weirdness is going to disappear from the battle, and that is perfect because he doesn't have any way to set that back up. So now he's going to go right back into Piglet. This thing is scarfed, and I don't have my speed boost yet, so I do have to switch out. I'm just going to go right into Greydilly. It's obviously the only option I have at this point. But luckily I will be able to bring back in Hitmonlee and get that Fake Out, which I've been waiting for this whole damn match. So he just goes for the superpower that actually does one-hit KO me. Emboar's a freaking beast. These things are nothing to mess around with. So at this point, my last mon is the Hitmonlee, so it's all on you, Kung Foot, and I should be able to do it if everything goes according to plan. So I bring this thing in. I'm just going to go right for the Fake Out. As he does switch, he's just going to save the Scarf Emboar just to test it later as he goes into the Can't Defeat Us. But sorry, you damn fetus, you're not getting any Psychic Terrain up today. So I do get the Fake Out off. Gonna activate the normal gem. If you're unfamiliar with the Unburden ability, it's once you use your item, it doubles your speed after you've used it. So I got myself a freaking Sonic Hitmonlee, and the fetus actually goes down to the poison there. So at this point, all I've really got to do is knock off the Kadabra, and a close combat should finish off the Emboar. So he does actually bring in the Emboar, taking some Stealth Rock damage. Piglet is going to have to go down today, as I am faster, and a close combat right to the old face is going to take out that thing. So that's a dead end board. That thing was really scary this whole entire match. I was super lucky being able to play around that psychic terrain. There was definitely ways he could have switched in and gotten that psychic terrain back up, but it was really kind of a mindfuck of a match here. So his last Pokemon is the Kadabra, so all I have to do is just kind of tell this thing to knock it off, and that's going to be the end of the game there. So I thought that was a pretty damn interesting match. It was definitely an unconventional one how it started off. I thought I was going to lose to that freaking Gallade, but either way, that was a pretty fun match. It came right down to our last Pokemon, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button on this video if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe for some more Wi-Fi battles. Also, go check out my opponent's channel. His link will be in the description. He's got some pretty damn good content, and go leave a comment on his channel saying Hayden sent you. Alright, peace out.